Gur míl mágad a Comhairle agus ceapan gúil sé Harbh tábhachtach cuile deis a hapú chun na Chruinniú gur tír neodrach muidena agus ar ngachanna a úsáid go glóhar chun na Chruinniú nach bhfuil muid sásta fáil ré leis an policy sin in anón an brú damanta atá a chur oranne agus ar an dáil ón tánaiste ón Taoiseach ón Ráiteas agus an óram an fóram atá ar siúl faoi láthair. I welcome the opportunity to use my voice for as long as I'm here and for as often as I can to say we are a neutral country. We are proud of our neutrality. The fact that it's been used in a very elastic way by various governments is neither here nor there. What I am zoning in on is the will of the people, and they've made that will known repeatedly in different ways, including the various pobl brehena that have taken place. This pre-council statement, the council meeting that's going to take place, on its agenda is security and defence, migration, foreign relations, I think, and I would like to zone in on two of those. And if we keep using the lens of security and defence, and we use that to manipulate language, to manipulate fear, we're heading for a very dangerous world. And our President spoke lately, and I don't wish to draw him into the debate at all, except to say that I disagree with him on only one item. And when he used the word drifting, I'd use the word choreographed. And we're being carefully choreographed into, to put it at its mildest, a more militarised Europe. The figures are absolutely frightening. The EU is creating an army, although that word is not used, and the member states have committed to growing defence expenditure by 70 billion in 2025, bringing the annual EU spend on military and weapons technology to 284 billion per year. Just look at the Defence Secretary. Prior to being US Defence Secretary, Lloyd Austin was the director of the arms company Raytheon Technologies, which increased the value of their shares throughout the war in Ukraine by 17%. I believe that Ireland's credibility as a neutral country, a proud neutral country wrought out of pain and suffering from our history of being colonised, from a famine, from our experience of mass emigration, that our policy has been wrought out of that we should use that to facilitate, to promote and take an active part in dialogue and diplomacy. The attack on neutrality is not accidental, neither is it a once-off. As I said, it's part of a carefully choreographed direction in which we're being pushed. If we look at what's happening in relation to the war in the Ukraine, which I'm on record for absolutely deploring repeatedly, however, the move to militarisation in Europe had gone on well before that. And with each new treaty, we were given further declarations. For example, Nice, we were given the Seville Declaration that it wouldn't interfere with our neutrality. But the plans for the EU militarism has been underway for a long, long time. The European Defence Agency, PESCO, the European Fund, the European Peace Facility, the Partnership for Peace, the battle groups, the European External Action, the Frontex border. I mean, the Chairperson, it's worth reading all of this because one forgets it's like a jigsaw because it's been built up bit by bit. Claude Juncker, I'm quoting, not my words, he described PESCO, which was activated in 2017 as the sleeping beauty of the Lisbon Treaty because it had not been used since its incorporation in 2008. But then it's used and we took part in that. And we took part in that following a 2-hour debate and vague threats that if we didn't sign up, our interest in Europe would be jeopardised. The Taoiseach at the time said we must participate. Well, the threat was then to counter the threat of Trump and Brexit. Today it's to counter the threat of Ukraine and the increasing wars as they see it. But we are constitutionally committed to peace and friendly cooperation among the nations of the world and under generally recognised principles of international law. And nowhere do I see, Minister, that framework. I don't see that we're looking at security and defence through the framework of an overall human rights perspective. And our hypocrisy is absolutely staggering in relation to Palestine, in relation to Fortress Europe, in relation to what's happening in the Mediterranean. Alone this year, 1,871 people have died or gone missing in the Mediterranean. That's the Missing Migrants Project. Just recently, a boat from Libya carrying hundreds of smuggled migrants sank in front of a Greek Coast Guard vessel, taking 82 lives and up to 500 still missing. And I mention that because the Frontex, which is the border entity that has been built up by the EU with the name of 10,000, they were in the vicinity, their boats, and they saw that boat, and from what I can see, they didn't take any action. I'm over time, so I'll stop there.
Thank you, Deputy.